Okay, everyone, we're going to be starting up here very soon. Just took a little extra time to get some of the setup going. So appreciate your patience. We'll be kicking off here very shortly. Sit tight, or maybe go grab a drink. Go grab a beverage, a snack. This can be a bit of a longer session, so you may want some nutrients handy. We'll see you in just a moment. Okay, everyone, the time is now. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to be back on stream. Took yesterday off, did a little resting, a little relaxing, but now it's time to get back into Star Citizen streaming. So I wanted to kick things off, and I wanted to do something a little different, like we did in the last stream, where we focused more on the ship as opposed to the activity. We're going to kind of take it into another direction today. Today we're going to be doing a bit of mining, and we're going to be using the 890 jump to help us out. And you may be curious, how are we going to mine in an 890 jump? I'm going to show you. We're going to use the 890 jump as a kind of a base of operations. Now, this is something, obviously, I would recommend this be something that you would do in a group. This is going to seem a little bit like overkill, because it is totally overkill. You would never do this on your own. But first, let's pull out the jump.
Stand by.
And I'll walk and talk. We'll do a walk and talk.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following locations.
And we know this is going to be hangar 1. There's someone lingering by the other elevator. Docking port 1 usually. Now, there has been a bit of a bug here that I've experienced where this front door will not open. It'll be closed and you can't get through, but it looks like we're kind of good to go. That's awesome. There she is, off to the left. So we'll get in, and assuming you've never been in an 890, we are in the very back of the ship, and you'll see the opposing docking port right ahead of me. There is the back elevator, which is good for bringing in a couple of people, and there's the docking port that we are attached to currently. So that is a a good feature of this ship right away is that you can dock from either side. Now, moving forward, we go into this atrium with this grand staircase, which is mirrored on either side. You can choose to go up either side. I'm going to go ahead and let's just take a look at what we have in the ship. Looks like we've got some weapons and some medical gear here, which is not too bad. I might also just pull in a couple of other things. I would probably benefit by having a couple of multi-tools in this thing. And we are doing some mining, so I could grab that mining attachment. Might as well. If we crash and lose everything, we might as well make it worth crying about. And I also, I've been doing this thing where I've been using these boxes to fill up. You can see I've got some nutrients, some food and water in there. I'm going to go ahead and put one of those in the ship, and we'll physically put it somewhere, and that would be in case we had some people using this as a base. We could set that down and then they could access it as well. I'm going to take off and before I do that, let's just do a little bit of a kind of a walkthrough here. This is the main entrance here, and then this will lead into the spa area. And I'm just going to take that elevator down, but there's a pool here, and then of course there's two elevators. One is mainly for the crew, for support. Takes you to the kitchen area. There's some sort of a changing area here. I'm not going to do a full tour because that'll take quite a bit of time, but there's a hot tub, and yeah, actually the hot tub is hot. If you go in the pool without anything on, you'll start to get cold. But if you go in the hot tub, your armor is optional, I guess. Let's put it that way. I was gonna say clothing optional, but you can never really truly be fully naked in this, in this ship. We haven't reached that level of immersion quite yet. So we're gonna go ahead and call up the elevator, and we're gonna go down to the hangar. There's two hangars, and they can both be accessed from this same level. And one is to the left, and one is straight ahead here and off to the right. I'll go to this one. This is the medical facility, the med bay. And we're going to head back into this main hangar. And you can see, oh, that's awesome. And it is sitting there without its landing gear deployed. But I've got my Prospector here. Now we might as well just risk it right now. Let's get in there and fix that before, things get totally terrible. And they're starting to jump around here, so I'm really hoping I can get in there very quickly. And we can fix this before it explodes. Try to deploy the landing gear. Do I have enough room? Engines are on, but we're not. Okay. So this is going to be risky. And then we're just going to set her down. Ooh. That's better, right? That's better. Okay, cool. That was a little weird, but that is something that does happen when you set these ships, especially a ship of this size, in another ship. You gotta kind of double check that your landing gear is still set proper. There's plenty of room in here for the Prospector, as you can see. Just close it up. Feel better with the landing gear down. Glad I checked that, because as I was flying around, I'm sure that would have been a risk. I'm sure it would have stuck down and everything would have been fine, but now we're safe. So we'll head back into the vehicle bay, which the one we were just in goes up, so you can fly up and out of the 890, and this one will go, of course, down. And I'm glad I checked, because I've got another vehicle in here, and if I tried to spawn another ship while I had the jump spawned, I think I would have lost the jump. It would have just despawned. So we know we have to get rid of that, the Cyclone, which I had it in there from the last time. So we'll take this back up, and we're going to head out. It's the elevator that we just took, and we can choose to go to, the spa, or we can go to the foyer. Sorry, this main area that we came into, and this has a bar area that you can sort of check out. But this is just another little landmark, so you don't get lost in this ship. Is if this is just the center part. If you can make your way here, you can find your way around to the rest of the ship. And so we just kind of came in one level up from where we did the spas below, and here's where the bar area is. And I'm sure you've seen ship tours before, so I won't spend a tremendous amount of time on this, because we want to kind of get going to the activity. But this is the restaurant / eating area, which people use this for meetings for their org, and that's kind of what I thought would be nice, to kind of show how we use the 890 for a larger mining mission in my org. Don't do this often. In fact, we very rarely do, but as we start to get more people mining, it becomes more advantageous to have something like the 890 hanging around. And the main reason is you can set the 890 as your spawn point. And so if there are any mishaps, anyone who's mining, blows up their ship, they can spawn here. And I'm going to go down and actually set my spawn point to the 890. And again, we saw that med bay area, so that's kind of on your way to the hangar. And I do have this set up right now. I've got a couple of, an undersuit and a helmet there. So, because when you respawn, you're going to respawn without any armor or anything. So we got, at least had sort of the thought that I should have that set up. So we're going to transfer this to the 890. And this would be something that all of your crew could do. I'm just waiting till I regen there. Get my health up while I'm here. And so you just take turns. Everybody, would kind of come in here and set their spawn point. And a lot of what I'm going to be doing in the next few minutes would be sort of the setup that you would do already. You'd do this ahead of time before the mining mission. You wouldn't make everybody wait around while you did this. But this will kind of give you an idea of how much time it might take to set this all up. So we kind of come in through here, and then we're going to go back out. And again, this is the main area, main plaza. There's tons of seating in here. Great views. You can see we're still docked, so we haven't left the spaceport quite yet. But everything's good there. So the first thing I'm going to do, and again, this wouldn't be something that I would recommend you do in the 890. I would recommend you do this ahead of time, but we're going to go ahead and get a box mission. And you might be asking, well, why are we doing box missions? I thought you said we're going to be doing mining. And we are going to be doing mining, but I'm going to use the tried old true technique of using a box mission to help us set some waypoints as we discover and find good rocks to mine. Our scouts would go out, each having a box, and that box will have a tracker on it. And that tracker could be used to keep track of a good rock location. We just simply add them to the mission, and then they get the marker, and we can say head towards, box with the last 3 numbers of whatever, and they can head in that general direction. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a kind of a demonstration of that. I'm going to try to do that while we're actually simulating some mining, because I think that would be another way I can keep the jump tracked as well. I'll take a box mission that has 3 boxes, and I'll carry 2 in the prospector, and I'll leave 1 on the jump. And now normally you wouldn't do that. Normally you'd have team markers, and somebody would be hanging out, in the jump, maybe between mining missions and things of that nature. But we're going to be trying to, the goal here is I'm going to try to do a full Quantanium run. I'm going to try to do some scouting, do some mining, and take it back to the refinery. And then hopefully the 890 hasn't despawned on us, because we'll have a marker there. But it's quite possible it's going to despawn, and if it does, c'est la vie. So I'm wasting enough time here. We're going to go ahead and try to disembark. This is not something that goes well usually. Disengaging docking clamps. That's good. Okay. Well, that's as smooth as I've ever seen it. Usually this thing jumps around a little bit. Looks like I deployed the landing gear by mistake.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Let's make sure we get our landing gear back up. There we go. And so we're going to be heading to...
Warning. You're
Yeah.
blocking an active flight lane.
We
Please vacate the vicinity.
They don't give us much time here, so we're going to
Landing gear raised.
get out of their way, and then we're going to set our marker. All of this stuff I should have done, kind of ahead of time.
Initiating ship storage procedure.
No, you
For
shouldn't
your
be doing
safety, please vacate the area.
it. Okay.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you for not taking my ship away. Now we can set our marker. So let's head to Lyria, which is where we're going to be doing our mining anyway. But I want to pick up a box mission there. Just makes that extra convenient that it's right there. Takes a little while for this thing to spool up, doesn't it?
Quantum drive activated.
Again, I would recommend not doing what I'm doing right now. When you do your recreation of what I'm doing if you decide to do this. Because the 890 is not the kind of ship that you want to be bouncing around from location to location, landing in a mining facility like we're about to do, and hauling some boxes to and from.
Quantum drive deactivated. Contact.
Looks like we got somebody in the area. Let's see if they're going to be so bold as to try to take on an 890. Don't really see anyone. Visual contact, not there.
Quantum drive activated. Quantum drive deactivated. Contact.
Still contact. I wonder if that's a bug. I don't really see anyone. And it's showing that they're like right on top of me, which seemed a little suspect. So the first thing we're gonna do is go pick up a box mission, and let's just see if there's anything available right now. And I don't want one of these 45K ones. I don't want to go into a bunker. I just want one of these. Collect all packages from ArcCorp Mining Area 56 on Walla. Okay, that's good. We'll take that. We may not end up, of course, completing this mission, so I was just looking for one that I could pick up 3 boxes in the same location, as opposed to the one where you have to pick them up from 3 different locations.
Quantum drive activated.
So we'll head to the mining area. Try to land this puppy. Which is going to be fun. These things, again, with the contact, it looks like something's happening there, but I'm not too worried about it. Maybe it's the Prospector showing up as an enemy because it was bouncing around in the bay, and if it does that, it might do some damage to the 890, and it would consider it an enemy ship. Now for the fun part. We get to land an 890 jump in an area not designed to land such a big ship. So let's see how that goes. Seems nice and quiet. Check the server here. Don't see anything. Yeah, we're going to get contact here. There's no way to forgive the Prospector for doing its damage. Quiet this down a little bit by turning off the quantum drive. And we'll bring her in. You know, the 890 isn't the most responsive ship, as you might imagine. It's the largest flyable ship in game, so it does fly accordingly. But just like all big ships, respect its size and do slow movements. Be cautious when you're flying it. It's fine. I know some people complain, but I quite like flying this ship, and actually like flying larger ships too. So we'll just take it easy, bring it in, land it, swap our land vehicles, and head out back to Lyria to do some mining. the big risk we're going to have today is despawn. There's a chance that this ship is going to despawn as I fly away in the Prospector. So we're just going to kind of play it by ear, you know. If it happens, it happens. Now, again, under normal circumstances, you'd have somebody hanging out with the ship. Somebody who's kind of running the entire operation. Probably somebody who's coordinating between the scouts, your security, and your miners. And I really don't have any desire or need to be anywhere near this. I don't have to. Just gotta find a nice little piece of land. Let's see, we're already pretty close. There's not gonna be much here for us. I think I can land over here. Hopefully it doesn't consider me blocking those pads. I think that's pretty good.
Engines inactive.
Door's already open for me. That's a nice little feature. The ship is anticipating my needs and opening the door that I wanted to go through. That's kind of cool. So if I want to head, I'm sorry, I think I want to head back this way. Is that right? Is that going to take me to the... I always get these two mixed up, but I got it right this time. So we'll take this down. I don't need this vehicle. I need something that can carry some boxes, so I can pick all three up easily. We'll see, because, you know, sometimes you get put right through the ground like we did here. There's not much you can do about that until they implement dynamic bay doors, which they really need to do, because I shouldn't be in the ground right about now, should I? And I'm going to just go ahead and retract that. And play it safe. Don't think we have anything to worry about, but you never know, right? Oh, see, now it kind of looks like it corrected itself. That's good. There's our boxes over there. So I have to store this cyclone, or I will exceed the 3-vehicle limitation currently in game, which we don't want to do. Luckily that won't take very long. I do really like how this thing kicks up rocks behind it. It's kind of a cool thing.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
And again, I'm just going to make life easy for me. It's a nice looking ship. I'm going to make life easy for me by using the mule here just to go grab those 3 boxes. Again, can't stress this enough. This is something you definitely want to do well ahead of your mining mission to make sure everything got done properly and you got your mission and, you know, and
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
didn't run into any issues. Doesn't look like it's letting me
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
store that, even though it did.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Yeah, this is a problem because you definitely do not want to... At this point, I do not want to claim this, and I definitely do not want to spawn anything else while that
Please visit us
thing
again. Goodbye.
is not stored. So I'm going to try and move this thing around a little bit. Maybe even repeat the landing process, because I definitely want that stored. And if this doesn't work, we could just, you know, I'm really not gonna bring out the mule, because if I do that, I know for a fact I'll be in trouble. We don't want the 890 to despawn. So we're going to try that again.
You are clear to launch. Thank you, and please visit again.
Doesn't seem to want me to land. We'll just keep trying this till I get a marker. And then we'll check that. Maybe I need to drive away.
Please proceed to
There we
assigned
go.
landing bay.
Now give me... There we go. Okay. We're just giving it its time.
Landing complete.
Thank
Have a
you.
pleasant stay.
Okay, so... I got thrown out of the airlock. Okay, we'll try this again.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
No. Okay, well, what we're going to do then
Please visit us again.
is we're just going to use that vehicle to grab the boxes as best we can. I think I could throw at least 2 in the passenger seat. If not, we'll figure it out. This will be faster than the mule, but it obviously does not have any storage on it, so it's not ideal. But I'm just not going to mess with my spawn maximum, as I've mentioned multiple times. All right, let's go get some boxes.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Looks like they're in this building. Does it go around the other way? Or are they ahead of us here? Or are they both? Looks like that maybe there's two here in the other, are in the other building. Yeah, that's the situation. Okay. It's been a while since I've done one of these missions, the 8,000 mission. So that makes sense. That makes sense. So these packages are just up on the shelf here. And we'll see what we can do. I think I can fit at least one. Oh, we have some looting to do too. And I've never tried this before, but oh, it won't let me. Won't let me place it. Oh, am I gonna have to? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's sketchy. That's sketch, right? We're gonna try it. I'll try it with just one so I don't waste time if it doesn't work. At this point I could walk them faster, right? Yeah, I lost it. You see the box? I lost it. We'll run these. And while we do, we'll kind of go through kind of what the game plan is. Now, had I had the, my choice, I don't know if I would have used, I like the Prospector being in here. And then I think what I would have done for a second vehicle is, you could debate that. Like, what would be the ideal second vehicle? Like, would you have a ground vehicle? Maybe. You could, if you're not really going to be moving the jump around. Where's my... Yeah, it's right here. Open. Oh man, this is just... Come on. Nothing. Okay, well... We'll do this. Hey, Luca. Welcome to the stream. We're trying to do the impossible here today. We're trying to actually do not a box mission with 890. We're going to do some mining. So I actually loaded up the 890 with a prospector. Oh, come on. I tried to pull out the mule. That's a great question. Why didn't I just pull out the mule? But the problem was that I have 3 ships right now, and I couldn't. I got the Cyclone was already in the 890, and I can't store the Cyclone. So if I pull the mule, I'm afraid that all of this is going to go away. And then I'll be stuck. So my first try was to use the Cyclone to move these boxes, and that didn't go so well. So I'm not sure. I mean, I would risk it, but it will take... Oh yeah, the Prospector does fit in the 890. It fits quite well. I'll show you here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go with 2 boxes, skip the third, because my concern was, since I'm doing this alone, my concern was that my 890 is going to despawn if I try to fly away on with my Prospector and go any distance away from the 890. So my thought was, but if I put a box in it, I can track it, right? I can always go back to the 890, even if I get far away. So as long as I grab one of these boxes, I can use it as a tracker. That's the game plan. Yeah. So yeah, it's very unfortunate that I can't check in this Cyclone. But I'm just not going to risk it. Just not going to risk it. So we're taking a little extra time with the setup here before we get to the full-on experience. I'm on Lyria, so I picked up a 3-box mission, and I used to do this with scouting. So I was just mentioning that just before you joined on, that this is how we used to scout. We would have the scouts pick up a box mission, and the scouts would share it with the team, and so you have your team markers, right? Everyone gets to see where everyone else is, but then your scouts, they don't have to sit around on a good rock. Okay, try not to drop this. And they can just leave a box there and say, head to this box, and that's where the rock is. And then when they're done mining that rock, you can just swing by and pick it back up. Okay, so let's just drop this one. Oh, we lost the other one. Yeah, this would have been like a one and done with the mule. So if you remember that next time, that I have to make sure that I don't have two vehicles in this ship before I attempt this ever again. So I'm guessing a box is down here somewhere. I just need two. Oh. Ooh. That one is a mean box. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah. Please join. You having some power issues right now? We had the internet go down earlier this morning for me. So okay, so I'm going to go to the Prospector, which I'm going to do anyway, but I want to load that thing up. And so, Luca, you'll be able to see how much room there is for the Prospector. It's, I believe, I always go the wrong way, but I'm going the right way this time, I believe. There's two bays in this ship, and I always forget which one is the front and the back, but that's just because I'm not paying attention. It's not that difficult. But there it is. Yeah. Oh, I see, Luca. Yeah, we had the same here in California. We were limited to a couple of hours where we have to decrease our power consumption. And we had a power outage. I want to say it was just probably a couple of weeks ago when we had some very hot weather here. We had a very hot weather week. So now I got this thing here. Now normally this is where I would have, oh, okay. Now normally this is where I would have, like, I would say 2 packages. And I would be using, like when I scout for the team, I would scout with a Prospector so I can help break whatever. So I would actually have 2 boxes in here so I could literally go scout, drop off a box, and then send somebody there to do some mining, and then swing by, pick it up, and then keep another box in case I happen to find something better. But you'd split those boxes up amongst the scouts. That's the important thing. And sometimes the scouts may not be flying a ship that they can transport a box, but I just find if you have a Prospector and you're not really interested in doing mining that day, you can still fly this ship as a scout. It makes for a good scout. But yeah, look how much room I have in here. In fact, earlier in this stream, Luca, I came into this bay and the Prospector was not, the landing gear was not deployed. And so without even opening this thing up, I got in the Prospector. It was kind of bouncing around. I got in the Prospector and flew it up. That's why VTOL it's in VTOL mode. And I just slightly flew up, and then I deployed the landing gear and was able to land without even opening this bay. I mean, there's plenty of room on this thing for a Prospector. I had no problem landing it inside this ship. And then, as I was saying, I've got my spawn point set to this bay. You know, so if things go really bad, I will spawn back in the ship. And I even have like some extra clothes there for a teammate, you know, if somebody else wouldn't be able to access my local inventory, so I have those boxes out for them in case they needed to respawn. This is really, you know, kind of practice really to how this would be used to really be a headquarters. And so far, you know, the only thing that has been problematic is the box situation. But I would have done that actually probably in another ship, and I would have had, you know, I wouldn't have been using the 890 to go pick up some boxes. I would have had that handled and then come back here, drop them all off and be good to go. So at this point, you know, I'm at a mining station. I wouldn't leave the 890 here as a base of operations, although that wouldn't necessarily be the worst idea in the world, because you would have, you'd be in an armistice zone. Exactly, Luca. Yeah, so the scouts could still have their team marker, you know, but they wouldn't have to sit around, which is really kind of the burden, is when they find a good rock, they're sitting there, and then they're waiting for, you know, whoever's going to break that rock to come to them. And then while they're waiting, they're not scouting, so they're just kind of sitting there. So if you had just a single, just curious if I could fuel up, but I guess you have to be on the pad. So if you had just a single scout, they could be scouting more. Now this is where I would say
Landing gear raised.
we definitely would want to be way, you know, quite a bit of distance between us and where we're going to mine. And we are not on Lyria like I said I thought we were. We actually picked up the box mission on Walla. So that'll be the first thing to do, is to head back to where we want to mine. That's the idea, Luca, to make this as organized as possible. But honestly, I was doing this just to make an excuse to actually, you know, take this ship out, because you kind of need a purpose with this ship, because there's quite a bit of work just to get it out, you know, get it where you want to go. So let's try heading back to Lyria, which ironically is where my box mission would have taken me anyway. Looks like I'm a little... little out of range here. Did I get a marker? I did get a marker. Okay. Oh, great. Yeah, it's plotting me around him on one. This first spool takes some time.
Quantum drive activated. Quantum drive deactivated.
I am like, I would say 60% sure that this thing is going to despawn when I fly away in my Prospector. I don't think putting a box on it's going to keep it to persist, but that's okay. That's kind of part of the test. If that does happen, this takes a good hour to respawn,
Quantum drive deactivated.
and we'll be maybe just doing some proper mining. If that occurs, I'll just get the Prospector and do some proper mining. Let's see here. So let's see here. I still like to jump down. No. Trying to pick something that's going to give us a fighting chance of being on the sunny side. Well, let's go to elsewhere.
Quantum drive activated.
Awesome. Power's back. Yeah, feel free to join if you want. I'm going to fly in here. Obviously, I'm going to find a kind of a dead spot here. And
Quantum drive deactivated.
some location that we won't run into any trouble. I think I'll head in this general direction because I think that's southwest. Yeah, so that'll put us in a better spot as far as the sun, but I don't really care about the 890. I don't need it to be in the sun. So we'll just find... Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, if you want to bring your Prospector, that's cool too. Yeah, because I'm going to... I mean, we can definitely try to test this all out, right? Like, and see if we can have two Prospectors running. You could even come into the 890 and set your spawn point here if you wanted. I know we don't die on our mining trips very often, but I think that's sort of the idea. We're just landing here.
Deployed.
Now this thing will land on anything, but I do want to try to find some level of level ground here. Looks like there's a little spot up there. Maybe just directly where I am. That looks good too, doesn't it? And we don't really have to worry so much about the bay door going into the ground like it did before, because we're going to be taking off from the top. So, yeah. So at this point, you know, power to shields, kill the engine.
Engines inactive.
And head to the Prospector, right? Yeah. Now, I don't know what happened there. How I lost 4% of health by, and the blood was a little dramatic, right? For popping down some stairs. I really drew blood. That seems a little weird. Okay. So yeah, we have my spawn point all set. And I believe I went to the wrong hangar, of course, but I just wanted to double check that I did indeed have the Cyclone out. I could have loaded that back up, but I don't really need it. I don't know how you would integrate like a land vehicle into this process that I'm trying to do. It just wouldn't be necessary, right? I mean, unless you had to go pick up somebody, in which case you could still use your Prospector to do that. But if somebody were here, you know, managing the 890, they might want a vehicle to shuttle around. And you could probably even fit a small bike in here or something. Maybe a hover quad or something. Something you could have or Dragonfly would be even better. So you could go pick somebody up. You'd have to fly, you know, have to drive there, but I mean, how cool is this? How cool is this? I have no choice. I have to take a screenshot of this because I won't even be able to show that this is. Yeah, I guess you can tell this is an 890, right? Let's go back as far as I possibly can. And I'll see if I can look up, which I can. Nice, nice. And yeah. So yeah, this would be another thing too. Is if Luca, if you end up, yeah, I got the screenshot. If Luca, you know, ends up joining us, what will be nice about it is I could, you know, add him to party, and he could come in with his Prospector and just land here, and you know, health up, you know, sit in the bed, the med bed, and then when he's ready to take off, he could do so, which would be kind of cool. Kind of cool. I mean, that's kind of a cool screenshot too, I guess. How do you zoom on screenshots? You hold F4 and then you use the middle mouse button. So that's how you sort of handle the Zoom. Looks like I just got a little notification that my power might be a little low on my mouse, so I may have to pop off here for just a second to get that plugged in. But for now, we'll risk it. Oh, we do have an enemy over there. Oh, interesting. Let's see what it is, because they may have been following us. It's a hurricane. Well, if they see us, if we see them, they see us. So we are not in a safe zone here. So while we are here, we are not going to risk it, because there's really no reason to risk it. Because I'm very curious if they're just kind of waiting around for us to maybe hop off. Maybe they know we're doing what we're doing. I mean, I have plenty of room on this pad. Plenty of room. Yeah, so I mean that's the one risk. You plop this big ship, the 890, and you know it's kind of like a sitting duck. Yeah, so Luca, I think I answered that question. It's you zoom with holding F4 down, and then you use your middle mouse button. Sorry, I got distracted there with the unfriendly kind of hanging out over here. And we didn't really go very far. That's kind of on me. I should have taken us out a little bit further, which I'm going to do. And look at all that room. Plenty of room. I feel safer now that the Prospector is in the 890, because the shields on this ship will keep us safe. Okay, Luca is joining. Yeah, feel free to let me know when you're in, and we'll form a party here so you can see where I am. I mean, we could do a meet and greet with that enemy over there, but I'm not going to do that. We're not going to provoke. You've seen my fighting skills in the last stream, and I ended up upside down. Oh, we got two people. Got two bogeys. Okay. Well, we really did not go very far. That's on me. And I was kind of heading in the southwest direction. So we'll just continue
Landing gear.
with that.
Released.
And we'll just put some distance between us and them. Here's a better of a view. Normally, like I was just about to say, I think, normally you wouldn't have to even park this on ground. You could have this in orbit over the moon, and that would be just fine. But we'll just get a little more distance between us and the baddies. I don't see them on radar anymore. But there's really no reason to not just have this way out in the middle of nowhere and have that all set up ahead of time to have the best experience, and to also make sure that you're decreasing the odds of being seen. So we'll bring it down to slow speed here, and we'll find a spot to land and do an attempt number 2. I thought I saw a good spot over there. This is a big ship. I do kind of like the idea of kind of pointing back to where I was. And the nice thing about this ship is you can land pretty much on top of anything as long as it's level, but it looks like I'm definitely going to be clipping through that rock. That's a better spot in my opinion. Yeah. We're looking good there. Looking pretty good there. So let's try this again. Okay, I think what we're going to do is, since we might have Luca join us here, I am going to just address the little issue of my mouse battery, which is about ready to die. And I'm just going to plug it in real quick. So I'm going to go silent for just a bit. And I was going to try to sit down. And I can't sit. There we go. All right. Give me just a minute and be right back. Okay, that did it. Yeah. Full power. Okay, great. So now, let's see where we are here. Yeah, Luca, I think I'll just invite you to a party. And if you get in and you want to see where I am, that'll help that situation out. All right, let's get back into the matter at hand and see if we can do some mining. you know, I was looking to see what fit in an 890 jump, and normally those videos are very thorough, you know. And I never even thought about putting a prospector in an 890 jump. It just never even occurred to me why anyone would ever want to do that. So I never searched for anything of the sort. And then I came across this video where somebody was doing this. They literally were doing some mining. It didn't end well for them, but they, you know, and it was all silent. There was no narration or anything, so I didn't really kind of get what they were hoping to get out of the experience. But what surprised me in that video, of course, was them actually landing the Prospector in the 890, and it fits. It fits quite well. So that was surprising to me, and I thought, well, okay, you know, it clearly fits. Let's try to kind of replicate that and see if we could make use of it. This is my second I have two prospectors. This is my loaner one because I bought the Expanse, and I got the second prospector. So I put the snow paint on this one, you know, kind of match with the 890 as best as I could. And I like this paint, and I did all the upgrades. So, you know, at this point, we just start scouting. Now I'm gonna head back to the opposite direction here. But there's my package marker. You know, 813 is the last number. Because there is still one back on Walla. And now I just go about my day doing my mining, do my scouting. It has been a while since I've mined. Proper mining. I don't really use that narrow band technique. I know it's supposed to, you know, give you a nice little clue if it's a cluster, but I honestly have not had much luck finding clusters using that technique. Not that it doesn't work. There it did right there. Literally worked the moment after I said it's never worked for me. But so we see 2 pair here, so this is going to be Quantanium because we're on Lyra. I mean, this would be absolutely amazing if these were good rocks. That would be, you know, that would be great. Let's keep our fingers crossed because, you know, normally on stream we don't always have the best of luck when it comes to these kind of things. But that's okay. Our luck's going to change. 3,600 and 2.3%. So that is what we like to call garbage. 3,500. 2%. Okay. Well, we're just going to take that as a positive sign that we found a couple of rocks. And now we just got to find a couple of rocks that are good. Did that look like Quantanium to you? I think it did. I think it did. My eyes may have been fooling me, but they were fooling me. Okay. All right. I mean, that would just be unheard of to be in line of sight of the dropship there. And to have good luck with that. Heading northwest, and I think I want to head more west. There's a cluster over there. There's two. Should be right over this mountain. I know I saw two, unless it... Yep, there's two. I know mining mode actually is better of a scanner than the ship scanner. It's just habit. You can get in and out of scanning mode faster than you can deploying and retracting the mining laser. You have to wait for that animation. Okay, here we go. 5,200. 29.29%. That's mineable. So we're going to do that. We're going to mine this puppy.
Mining mode on.
Just curious about that optimal. Doesn't look like that's working. You see that effective range on the left there should be telling me how close to be, but it just started right at optimal, so kind of use our own experience here to guess what we need here. I think that might be our problem. I think we might be on a 30K because my mining laser does not work.
Mining mode off. Mining mode on.
So I'm going to land real quick because I think we're about to 30K. And if we get an opportunity... Okay. That's interesting. Maybe it's not a 30K. But my mining laser is definitely not working. And you know what it makes me think? Is that maybe this mining laser, did it unequip itself? I don't see it. I don't see it. I think I lost my mining laser. Well, that's a weird one. But I think that's what it is. If you look closely, there's nothing on the end of this thing. It's empty. Yeah. That's a new one. I've never had a mining laser just disappear off of a ship before. But that is definitely what happened. Okay, well, you know what we can do? We can not lose this rock because it's a good one and we definitely want to mine this one. And I'm just going to set this box here so we don't lose this rock. And then if I have to, I guess I have to fly back to Arc L1 and equip the mining laser, which is going to be a bit of a process, and I'm not sure what's going to happen to the jump. But we're going to do it anyway. Because part of this would be nice to know when things go wrong. So it's 1020. That's the box. And I'm seeing maybe that marker just is dead. But that's definitely the issue. You see, there's nothing on there. My mining laser is just gone. Which may mean I need to go buy one, which is just really not what I wanted to do. We'll see. Let's check and see. Okay, Luca, I'm still seeing you at Microtech. If you happen to... Oh, we may have crashed. No? Yeah, there's been some weird kind of glitchy... but... I need a mining laser. That's the first and foremost. And this should, you know, this chair is also not acting right. Something, there we go. Yeah, I've gotten in that chair a million times and it's never been that difficult. So yeah, something seems to be degrading here. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is I want to go back and get a mining laser. And, you know, the box is 1020. And we're going to head back to Arc L1. We're going to see if we keep our 890. We're going to see if... We know the we know the box mission is going to persist. So that shouldn't be an issue. Yeah. So Luca, yeah, same thing. Server does appear to be glitching for me as well. So we're kind of at a pretty high risk maneuver here to head back to Arc L1. Because if anything goes wrong on our way, who knows where we're gonna spawn. But that was just weird. I've never had a mining laser just up and disappear on me. And if it's not at Arc L1, that's gonna be an issue. So we'll make our way there and see what our fate provides. Oh no, Luke, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're at Port Everest. Okay. Well, I'm going to be heading back to Arc L1, so I've got a little bit of a delay here, and I'm going to head back to Arc L1 and equip a mining laser on this Prospector. I really hope it isn't a result of storing it in the 890 that it just lost everything. That would really not be cool because, well, although loading up the 890 with a Prospector isn't that big of a deal. The step to do that is you actually spawn the Prospector first, you fly out of the hangar, you find one of the pads, and then you land on the pad, then you head back into the lobby, spawn the 890. It will be on its dock, you know, in the docking station. And then you just go back to the pad, fly the Prospector, and land on the bay. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. But I have a sneaking suspicion my 890 jump is going to be gone. And again, you know, one of the things that you would account for, you'd have somebody just kind of camping out on that ship to make sure it persists, but then also just to be running operations. So let's give ourselves a clean landing here, and then we'll see what we see. Now, unfortunately, I do have to park this thing. I can't just pull this from local inventory and store it. And equip it, rather, on the ship while it's out. That's somewhat unfortunate. I really hope it would be nice to be able to just land on a landing pad and, you know, or be in the hangar. That would be awesome too, right? Just be in the hangar and be able to equip things while you're there. Just gas up and go and swap out some mining lasers. That'd be awesome. But until that day, we will head to the assigned landing bay. A little rusty with the Prospector here, as you can clearly see. Normally I can fly that thing right in. Yeah, take your time, Luca. I'm just relearning how to land the Prospector. I guess good practice before I have a full load of Quantanium in here. It's been, I haven't flown the Prospector in a long time, actually. Been doing a lot of rock mining, so that has been taking up most of my time.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
And we're going to need some food and water here, but I can always equip that and eat that on the road. So let's see what we have. Because I know I don't have a mining laser just sitting around. But I'm just curious if I store this, what does it say is equipped? It's going to say empty.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
That's a good sign that I can store it. And actually, since I'm here, if this isn't, I can just grab the other Prospector.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Empty, huh? Interesting. And that's the original laser, the mining laser. Yeah, so this is the polar livery paint. And that's the one I have on the other Prospector. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not above just pulling out the other Prospector. That's fine by me. Yeah, we got everything all set up on that one.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval
Oh, you know what,
system.
though? No. Yeah, I was going to say we're going to lose that box, but no, we don't have that box, and so this will be just
Vehicle
fine.
selected.
Just fine.
Standby. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
So many markers. So many markers. Not used to this many trackable items in my way. Okay, well, switcheroo here. We got the other Prospector, which is a little unfortunate that I couldn't fly. You know, I guess I would just be cautious about that if you're storing ships in ships, that those type of anomalies might occur, because I am 100% positive that I did not have, or that I did have that mining laser on that Prospector. I am very confident that I had that mining laser on that other Prospector. So
Hello, how can Miss help you today? Systems on.
You are clear to launch.
I'm gonna check for food. I'm gonna check to see if I have any drink here, because I definitely don't want to let that interrupt or cause another delay. So just before I take off. Oh, look at that. I think I have food in there. I have some food and yeah, I have some water here. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. So we'll head out. Because I'm curious, you know, I might be on somewhat of a timer here for how long I can leave that ship before it despawns. That's just a guess. Someone out there knows. And if you do, yeah, leave a comment below.
Thank you. And please.
And hey, like and subscribe, right? I'm supposed to say that. I'm supposed to have that on a reel and just keep saying this. But yeah, if you happen to be watching this post-stream, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll be doing more of these. I'm really kind of on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday tentative schedule, and that's the game plan for now. But we may mix it up. We'll see how it all goes. But the key is we'll be on a schedule, and we'll be doing this regularly. So hope you can join. And I did say we were going to be running a bit longer than the normal streams. I've been doing about anywhere between 1 and 2 hours, but I anticipate this one's going to be a bit longer. Maybe even upwards of double in length. So we did find a good rock, and that's great. So we will definitely go back and mine that thing, regardless of whether or not the 890 is there. I'm an optimist. I really am hoping that it is there, the 890. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That was a pretty decent rock. It's definitely worth breaking. And there it is. Now I can't jump to that. Which is a disadvantage, because if it were a player marker, that is one disadvantage to this box method that I mentioned for scouting, because with a player marker, you can jump. So you could just pop up, you know, Bill is the guy who found the rock, just jump to Bill, and you'd be good to go. And in this method, some travel required. But it's worth it. We know it's worth the time, because that is a good rock sitting over there. And I see 2 markers. The 1020 we know for a fact is the good rock that we found, and the other one's probably where the 890 was and or is. Let's ping and see if we can pick up the 890 marker. I see something. And 90 kilometers isn't too bad. We didn't fly out in the middle of nowhere very far, but it's good to see that the 890 isn't showing up on radar when I jump down to that last point. And we will be flying right over the 890 if it's still there. I think see something. Oh, that's just my marker. I mean, we are 70 kilometers away, so that's not where we want to be. It's not right there. We'll just pick up the speed and head in that other general direction. And I only see one other box marker. So we may not have seen the one that's still in the jump. It may not be there. But we're going to head in this general direction. Close the distance on that rock. And then we'll scout for the 890. Maybe a little background music while we do this boring part, huh? Getting to the moment of truth here. To see if all that effort we put into getting these boxes pays off. There are the rocks. And they're still hot. Now, I am curious, as I am to be. That's the drop-off marker. That's the rock marker. I don't see the 890 marker. So let's just take a look at that on the map. That's the drop-off package. And there's package 1020. And there is package 1020. But I don't see another package anywhere near where we were, because we didn't go that far. Yeah, so we lost the 890. We lost the 890. Yeah, we definitely did. And with it, we lost the package that was in it. Which surprises me, because usually you would expect that, or at least I have expected that the package would have persisted, you know, and the ship would have despawned. But I guess because they don't, I don't know, because it persists in that way, it's not gonna work that way for us right now. And that's definitely the drop-off package marker. So the marker that we, yeah, and then that marker is just the drop off, and there's a 1020 there too, which is a little weird. So our markers are just kind of messed up. But if everything is golden, I am going to land this guy and
Landing gear down.
I'm going to get that box, and I'm also going to grab a drink real quick. Oh, that didn't seem good. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just need to be in the ground.
Engines off.
So not exactly what we wanted. We didn't want that to be the case, but I suspected it would have been. Because that's just a long time. You're jumping into a different system, and you've got this big ship sitting there somewhere. But we're going to at least make an omelet out of those eggs. Is that the expression? Whatever the expression is. That's what we're going to do. Let's find that rock again. They're over here. And I believe it's... Oh, we didn't grab the package. And I do want to do that. Sorry. I do want to do that because it's going to get blown up and get in the way of me mining potentially, and I don't want to risk that. So let's just land this guy one more time.
Engines off.
Hop out of our seat and get that package. Not because we want to deliver it or use it again, but just because I want it out of the way. There she is. Now, yeah. Okay, I was going to say, I seem to remember putting it on the side where I landed. I landed over there, and the 890 should be back over there. And you just see a ship marker, but it's just going off into nowhere. So that could just be because it's despawned. We could fly in that general direction, but at this point... I want that rock. I want to make some credits, right? Make it a little worthwhile. And yeah, you can hold a box, by the way, and magically climb up a ladder with it, in case you didn't know. Yeah, this thing likes to spark. Okay, let's crack a rock, right? Let's do some mining.
Engines on. Landing gear up. Fracturing mode on.
There's a mining laser. And that probably, that definitely explains why I was seeing the optimal range unresponsive, right? That explains that. So let's break some rocks. This is on the higher side for my setup. Yeah, Luca, if you do happen to head my way, that'd be great, because I may need some help breaking this rock. Let's give it a few. Really, you'll notice kind of bubbling, and if I move it around a little bit, you'll see sometimes you can get it to kind of spike. And then you just set it there for a little bit. Make sure you're real nice and close. If I had a surge, I could break this no problem. But it's getting there. It's just going to take a little bit of patience. And if we do get some help from Luca, then we can make short work of this. A little overcorrection there on my part. Just trying to move it a little bit, and my mouse went a little jarry. How about that? Just takes a little more patience when you don't have the powerful laser. And you're looking for those glow fracture lines. Those are supposed to be the weak points. And so I'm just trying to find those and keep those hot. And you can see my general heat. Now I'm getting to a point where I'm going to go aim to the green. So we're going to power down a little bit. And I think we'll be able to crack this. Jack it up to 100. Might be one of those challenges there. There we go. We pull it off. We keep it at 100 maybe. It's okay. We can let it go a little hot. We'll pull it all the way down. Shouldn't be a problem lowering the power. It's going to be a problem getting it back up, which makes this a little more difficult to crack than a rock of appropriate size. As you can see now, I have to kind of replay that game of moving the laser around, so it can be a little bit of a challenge. We'll keep at it. We'll keep at it. I think we're going to be on our own on this one. Luca's not going to be able to make it, so we can crack this, I'm sure, with a little patience. I almost got it in that last attempt, so sit tight while I return the power to the laser, or to the rock. Get some energy in there. And we'll find that sweet spot. I told you we would crack that puppy. Took a little bit longer than you normally would take for a rock like that, but you know what? You can do it. You just have to be a little patient. Look for those fracture lines. Look for those spots that, like, you know, where it starts to, you start to see the energy kick in. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. That's garbage. That's garbage. It's going to have some Quantanium in it. 82%. Now, we should have no problem breaking these smaller shards, so let's just break these puppies in, and I'm probably going to be using my Brant module to keep things moving along. just a little red on that one, and that's fine. It kind of spreads things out a little bit. You can look at the green zone and you can see how big it is, and that will tell you that there's basically no Quantanium in there. You can wait for the scan to confirm, but you can see barrel, borax, and inert materials. This is going to have no Quantanium in it. This is going to have no Quantanium in it. There's one more yellow down here. That doesn't have any Quantanium in it. That's the same one over here. That's a purple. I'm not even going to bother with the purple right now. This is 100% Quantanium, but I'm not sure if that's a purple or a orange. It doesn't really seem to be giving me a good indicator, so I'm going to swap angles. Because if you blast that purple, you will be in trouble. And I can't tell. I can't tell. But I am looking for one more Quantanium to break. That's my expectation, that the Quantanium would have split into two rocks as opposed to just a single. Now these are all looking purple. Now this is clearly not purple. But what is that? What exactly is that? And I just don't know if that is a yellow. And so what I'm gonna, it looks like it's purple. Looks like it's purple. So what I would have done there, instead of blasting it, is I would have tried to scoop it. And I would have gotten my answer, but then I would have had to probably do a quick break on another rock if I had found more Quantanium. So we did go hot on a couple of these, but I think we're done breaking. So I'm just going to check. That's 100%. This is the mystery rock right now. I'm not sure. This looks like I could scoop it. So we're going to start scooping. Yep, looks like it was broken. So had I blasted that with the laser, it would have instantly exploded and we would have been unhappy campers. I'm just going to keep looking because I think there would be one more. Oh, there's a 5%er there. That's not great. There's another 100%er. We may have lost some Quantanium in the break. And there may be one kind of tucked away under the surface. And that happens when you overheat the rock. You can lose it. There's a 99%er. And we have plenty of time here, so 14 minutes is a lifetime to get back to the refinery. So I'm just going to take my time. Scooping up the better rocks first. Pretty straightforward. That's going to be inert. Do a double check on my work. That's inert. Okay. And there's this little 5%er, which I'm not really wild about scooping, but we have room for it. So we're going to take all the Quantanium we can get, and maybe there's something underneath that rock. It doesn't look like there is. We didn't break anything else. So we got what we could out of this rock. So we're going to head back to the refinery. Now I'm getting very low on drink here, which surprises me because I just drank, but we have enough to get back, and we'll deal with that later. We're not going to mess around with Dogleg, which is where we would jump some random place. And I just don't want to do that now. There's no reason to do that. I mean, there is a reason to do that. The reason is I don't want to get into a situation where somebody interdicts me, but we'll leave that alone. We'll leave that alone for now. We'll risk it because I'm down to 23%. I could pop out at 2 million. We'll see if we have some time to fill up. And we should be filling up here. Doesn't look like the animation's working. Doesn't always, but as long as my hydration level is going up, I don't care. Make sure I get back in my seat before we stop, or I might go crashing down to the ground here. Took a little bit of time, and that's probably not something I would recommend for the faint of heart, because you're clearly pushing the limits there. So looks like our sound is bugging out a little bit, but that's fine. We'll come in a little hot here just to make sure we have enough time. Get my landing gear down already. Just no reason not to. Can fly with that.
Landing gear down.
We're trying to get this thing into port.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
It's the same one we were at before. So let's try to not overshoot this like we did last time, right? Ooh, there's an unfriendly there. That's interesting. Definitely have a target on our back. Being a prospector heading into Arc L1, they gotta know that I'm loading Quantanium, but we're safe now. I auto land on these all the time because then I can kind of be sure that I've landed properly.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Now we still don't have an alarm, which does surprise me just a bit, because I would expect to have taken some time for that one. But maybe not. Let's go do this. I'm on hangar 1. I like to take note of that because if something does happen and I need to run back up here, I don't want to be guessing where my prospector is, right? Let's wait for the floor to spawn in there. Yeah, so if something happens,
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval
I
system.
want to be able to jump back right in there. And there's our store. As soon as that goes, then we're good. Now, let's take a look at the jump. It does say claim Lyria, so unknown.
Please visit us again.
And as far as I can tell, I only see 2 markers. The drop-off marker and the other one, so that is not good. We'll probably have to claim the 890. We'll lose what was in there, which is very unfortunate, but that's okay. I didn't put anything. I don't usually put anything in a ship when I'm experimenting that I don't care, or that I would be very upset if I lost. Now that mining module that I had, which would have come in very handy, the gadget would have come in very handy for breaking that rock that I was breaking. I did lose that, and that's like 20k, I think. So that's not nothing.
Hi, good to have you back.
This is a good time for me to mention that
See anything you like?
we do have a Discord server called the Know Nothings. And one of the nice features that we have is we have a custom bot that I built. And it allows us to track our work orders. I'll do this off screen. But the bot, I just have to put in the stats. And it will do the rest of the work for me. It'll track how much I made. I use the defaults. This is the Dynanex solvenation, which is a high yield, low cost, low speed. You can see it actually will give you the information there. And so what I do in the Discord servers, I just do a command for work order, and I put the yield, or excuse me, the original amount, which would be 1811, and then how much the refining yield would be, which is 1720. And then I put the cost, which is 3808. And just with those are the defaults. It'll assume Quantanium, and it'll create a work order just for me. And I now have stats on this work order. Now you can see I haven't been mining a lot lately. I have been doing rock mining and doing these streams, so you know what I'm up to. And so I haven't really spent much time rock mining, prospector mining, and so I don't have any work orders, but I can tell you that that particular work order, I can get details on it, and I've collected all the other work orders, and this particular one will make me 151,360, which is simple math. It's 88 times the yield, 1720. But for, the amount of time that we've spent, a couple of hours here, that's not great money, but I was kind of dinking around a little bit, getting these boxes, getting these things all set up, getting the mission going. So I wasn't really mining that whole time. And more importantly, if we had somebody hanging out at the 890, I could have gone and done multiple runs. That might be a thing to put in the 890 for the other vehicle. It might be nice to put a rock miner in there, a rock, because then you could literally, if somebody did spot a good rock, you could probably head out and do some rock mining. Although driving that thing around, as I say that's not really practical. So what I would do here, because it takes an hour for me to spawn the 890, I have two choices here. I could just claim it, and cut my losses. Let's just check the map real quick. I don't like to give up on things very easily in this stream. And if I could find that 890, if we could find that, and again, I don't think we will because it's been quite a bit of time. You can see we have a marker here on Walla. That's where that other box is. And there is a drop-off marker here. But that would be the completion of the mission. And I'm just not seeing anything. We kind of were near elsewhere. Yeah. I'm going to call that. There's no reason for me to fly all the way there, because if I don't have a marker, I could just be circling elsewhere. And if that box marker is not there and the other ones are, which they are, then that will tell me that we're in a despawn situation. So if you fly away, if you return to the refinery and you're trying to do a run and you get too far away from your main ship, it will despawn for you. So we've been heading into a couple of hours here, and I had a lot of fun doing this, even though it didn't work out quite like we wanted it to. Very often that doesn't happen. We got our first guest, Luca, came in and did some chat with us, so that was cool. I'm just curious about how well I would be able to read what was on screen in the form of chat and also play, and I think I did an okay job there. I'm going to claim the 890, and then we're going to call it a day for today. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope you had fun watching, and I really do hope that we can build this up. Check out the Know Nothing Discord server that I run. Just if you're curious how long it takes for an 890, you'll notice I'll do a claim here. It takes an hour and 7 minutes. And that's why you don't want to do those things very often, in addition to losing
Your insurance claim has been sent.
everything that's on the 890. I just now have to wait an hour before I can play with it again. But please check out the Discord server, the Know Nothings. The link will be in the description. And I think with that, get ourselves to an where you can see me. At least I think you can. There we go. There we are. I'm in the goldfish mode where I'm breathing like I'm a goldfish. But apart from that and loss of the 890, it kind of went like I thought it was going to. And hopefully you can kind of see the practical use of this down the road, because it really is something you could do with a good team. Get somebody camping out on that 890 so it doesn't despawn. And they could coordinate the scouts for you. They could coordinate the mining operation, the security. It could be an eyes in the sky. It could be a really good setup. And you're going to want to have your team members set that as their spawn point, so they can, something happens tragically, they could at least be back on Lyra and not all the way back on their home spawn, unless, of course, it's more advantageous for your setup for them to do that. But I think it would be great to do this. I'm going to probably do this again. We're going to take the 890 out and use it for more and more things in this stream. I bought it in-game, so I consider it a loaner. I'm not going to always have an 890, so in anticipation of a upcoming wipe. I'm sure that's about or when that does happen. You know, obviously I'm not going to be able to keep that 890. So, yeah. With all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and call it like I said. And thank you once again for joining me on this stream and being here. I really appreciate it. This guy he's going to come up and say goodbye to you too. All right. Take care. I'm Yentra, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh, we wildin', we drinking cherry wine and we dancing on an island. We going but the finest. Yeah, yeah, young Mr. Killer and call me señorita. I papi got me dreaming. My legs up on the ceiling. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know when he come, he ain't never gonna leave. No. Hit it the night running, that's the way I wanna be. So don't think I'm the one to won't ever be enough. Mix until I know, bitch, I ain't the one. He don't want love. He just wanna fuck. Ow, little vacation. Drink it till we naked. Talking with our tongues. We just having fun.